Hey everybody, it is Catherine here from Continue the Magic. I am on the road with work this week, so you'll notice I'm in a different location. We're making use of our phone. I don't have my full setup this week, but new news just came out about the Beak and Barrel Lounge, and I really wanted to make sure that I got you this video this week so that we are on top of it. So this is really exciting news. We've been talking about this lounge coming out for a while. If you don't know about it, they just revealed the name. It is the Beak and Barrel. And this is the new Pirates of the Caribbean themed lounge. So they've been hinting it at for a while. We're looking at the end of 2025, like late 2025 for an opening date. But a bunch of new details just came out, so let's cover it. So as far as the location on this one, this is at the exit of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, just to the left there. You've probably already seen the construction and noticed the change. This used to be a large shop area. They've dramatically pared it down, and they're going to be opening the lounge in that area. I'll put an image here where you can see exactly where it's going to be located. But we are starting to get closer. We're looking at late 2025, so they're starting to reveal more details. So I love that they're pulling in the story of the ride, the story of the movies into this, and then they're obviously expanding the universe a bit with some new storylines. So the place is owned by Captain Meridian or Mary Goldwyn. And then we have their first mate, Rummy, who is a parrot and will be in the lounge. They'll greet you when you come in. You might see them around telling stories about their adventures. So this is going to be an interactive animatronic that we're going to see in this space. So what I really like is that they're bringing a callback to the Barker Bird that was at the Tiki Room entrance at Disneyland. So this was at the original entrance of the ride, and this was a talking animatronic, but it actually caused congestion at the entrance of the attraction because people were so kind of in awe of the Barker Bird. So it was actually fairly shortly lived and removed not long after that. So there's not an identical parrot. They're not saying this is the Barker Bird. They're saying this bears a strong resemblance to the Barker Bird, but still it's a callback to that original Disneyland animatronic. So super cool that they're bringing it back into this new lounge. So this lounge exists in the town of Tortuga. So again, we're tying into those movies and keeping that storyline going through, which is great. We always knew it as kind of a pirate hangout. So perfect place to have a lounge. So the main dining room is called the Mess. So the story here is that it used to be run by the Spanish. The pirates kind of reclaimed it as their own and have taken over here. And then there's going to be a large bar built in, obviously. And then this is supposed to be built out of a cursed shipwreck. So I'm sure there's going to be more details coming out around there. I like what they could potentially do as far as interactions and little cool effects with having that kind of like haunted cursed shipwreck story. And there's going to be a skulls kind of shaped section, and that's where they're going to be housing the bottles and spirits. So that should look really cool. And this is also going to house the enchanted rum bottle. So the story here is that the enchantress Tia Dalma, it was a gift from her. Again, this ties right back into a character from the movies that we're familiar with. And then the idea is that because of its enchanted rum bottle, this is where all of the spirits in the place are coming from. Then we're going to also have a captain's quarters area. And here they're going to have like fancy artwork on the walls and drapes. But you'll see a lot of kind of wear and tear in the area from kind of the battles that have occurred between the pirates over the years. So you might see scorch marks, you might see like sword marks on the wall, damage to the drapes, damage to the artwork. So a lot of storytelling will be built into this, which is exactly what we expect to see. So I'm expecting a lot of really hidden little messages throughout this area. And in this space, they're also going to have a fireplace, and they're talking about having on the top of that fireplace, there's going to be a display of 5 mini ships. And again, the story behind that is that the ships represent 5 ships that got together to kind of fight against tyranny. But it sounds like the ships are going to come to life and show us little battle scenes and kind of recreate that for us. So again, I'm expecting a lot of animatronics, a lot of cool special effects built into this whole area to really sell that storyline. And I think this will be unique from, say, the Skipper Canteen. Like, don't get me wrong, I've eaten in the Skipper Canteen. It is super fun. If you look around the area, tons of stuff built into the walls, little storylines, jokes, obviously, the puns from the waiters. I'm expecting more interactive elements and more kind of special effects in the Pirates Lounge. I don't know that this is true, but just kind of how they're describing it and how they're talking about the little things that they're trying to tie in here. I think that's really the way you communicate that across. I'm almost imagining, you know, a new higher end version of the Rainforest Cafe, where things kind of come to life around you while you're in the space. So I love that idea. I've always kind of enjoyed the Rainforest Cafe, but obviously it's a cheesy version of what it is. Like, it's fun that the animals all move and stuff throughout the day, but it's definitely not like high level Disney quality. So what I want to see is them doing that, doing their version of an engaging, immersive, interactive lounge slash restaurant, but at a like high level Disney Imagineer quality. So unlike the Spaceship Earth Lounge, which is going to be 21 and up, this one's going to be for all ages, which I think is the right call. There's a lot of draw for families in Adventureland. They've really been pushing engagement with kids in that area. Obviously, you have Jack Sparrow, like the meet and greet there. You have the interactive Pirates game. They've even, you know, in the past, they've done the Pirates kind of makeover. So I think this was the right call to keep kids included in this story. I think they'll really get into the role playing in this area. The other big thing to note here is that it's going to be a similar reservation system to Olga's Cantina. So when you do get your reservation, you're going to get a 45-minute window to go in there, experience it, and then get out. So I can't wait to see more things about the design. I'm hoping they'll give us some sneak peeks of little features as they start to build this out. Ever since they showed the ride-inspired lounges on the Fantasy, I've been really into this idea. They've shown that next level theming that they can bring to a lounge like that, and they're really honoring those, not just Disney fans, but specifically Disney theme park fans. There are lots of Disney fans out there, but you and I both know that there is a subset of that are Disney theme park diehards, and not just theme parks of today, but the history of those rides. Like, we're really dedicated to that. So they're really trying to honor that with these new lounges and building out those immersive experiences, especially since, you know, after going to the parks for so many years, it's not all about the rides anymore, right? You know this as well as I do. Clearly, we're going on our favorite rides. It's not like we're skipping them all together, but it's about spending time in the parks and absorbing that atmosphere. You know, the way people act, the theming, the attention to detail. Disney doesn't miss a step when it comes to creating these experiences. Yes, they charge a lot, but they think of everything. And this is why we keep going back. So to not just go on the ride and have your Pirates experience end as soon as you finish that, but to build that out and let us really exist in that space and soak it in. I feel like this is what we're really craving, right? We really just want to live in that moment and soak it all in, every little detail in every format you're willing to give it to us. So lots of really cool things about this. I love that they're doing this. I'm excited about the Spaceship Earth Lounge. Obviously it's not going to be nearly the theming level or immersion level that I think we're going to see with this. But I think they're really heading in the right direction of, they've already upped their food game, the quality of their food. So to now up the theming on that food, I think is absolutely what we're looking for and a really good move on Disney's part. So that's all I have for now. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I'll keep you updated on any news and updates I hear, and let's talk Disney parks.